733 Muhammad al-Baqir, 5th Shia Imam, and descendant of Islamic prophet Muhammad, dies from poisoning at 57 approximate date. In 1030 William V the Great, Duke of Aquitaine 995-10300 and Count of Poitiers 969-1030, dies at 60. In 1156 Herman van Horn, Dutch Catholic clergyman Bishop of Utrecht, 1150-56, dies age undocumented. In 1398 Suk, 3rd Japanese Emperor of the Northern Court 1348-51, dies at 63. In 1435 Xuand, 5th Ming Emperor of China 1425-35, dies at 35. In 1561 Bairam Khan, Great Mughal General, regent for Akbar. In 1561 Menno Simons, Dutch priest and vicar whose followers are named the Mennonites, dies at around 65. In 1580 Henry, King of Portugal 1578-80, Inquisitor and Archbishop of Lisbon 1545-70, dies on his 68th birthday. English Catholic conspirator convicted in the Gunpowder Plot to blow up the British Parliament, hanged at 35. In 1615 Claudio Aquaviva, Italian Jesuit priest 5th Superior General of the Society of Jesus, dies at 71. In 1632 Joost Bürgi, Swiss clockmaker and mathematician b. 1552. In 1665 Johannes Clauberg, German theologian and philosopher, dies at 42. In 1686 Jean Mairet, French dramatist famous for tragedies, sophonism and comedies, dies at 81. In 1720 Thomas Grey, 2nd Earl of Stamford, English Privy Councillor c. 1654. In 1729 Jacob Roggeveen, Dutch navigator and explorer, first European to discover Easter Island, dies at 69. In 1736 Filippo Juvarra, Italian architect, dies at 57. In 1783 Caffarelli Gaetano Majorano, Italian castrato soprano, dies at 72. In 1788 Francesco Zannetti, Italian composer, dies at 50. In 1790 Thomas Lewis, Irish-American surveyor, lawyer, and a pioneer of early Virginia, dies at 71. In 1794 Marriott Arbuthnot, British admiral and naval commander during the American War for Independence, dies at 82 or 83. In 1815 José Félix Ribas, Venezuelan independentist leader b. 1775. In 1828 Alexandros Ypsilanti, Greek resistance fighter, dies at 35. In 1844 Henri Gratien, Comte Bertrand, French general and engineer, dies at 70. In 1856 Khedrup Gyatso, 11th Dalai Lama of Tibet, dies at 17. In 1864 Hamilton Rowan Gamble, American judge, governor of Missouri 1861-64, dies at 65. In 1865 Aristide Farrenc, French flautist, music publisher, and musicologist Sourdes pianistes, dies at 70. In 1866 Friedrich Rückert, German poet, translator and professor of Oriental languages, dies at 77. In 1884 Elisha Harris, American physician, founded American Public Health Association, sanitary reform, dies of peritonitis at 60. In 1888 John Bosco, Italian priest, youth worker, educator, founder of the Salesian Society, dies at 72. In 1891 Ernest Meissonier, French painter, etcher and sculptor, depictions of Napoleon, dies at 75. In 1892 Charles Spurgeon, English preacher and evangelist, dies at 57. In 1907 Timothy Eaton, Irish-born Canadian department store founder Eaton's, dies at 72. In 1918 Danny Elderlange, Dutch composer, dies at 76. In 1919 Paul Lindau, German playwright and critic estimate, dies at 79. In 1922 Heinrich Reinhardt, Austrian composer, dies at 56. In 1923 Eligius Nieuadomski, Polish modernist painter and assassin of Poland's first president, Gabriel Narutovich, executed by firing squad at 53. In 1925, George W. Cable, American writer, Northampton years, dies at 80. In 1928, Caroline Willard Baldwin, American physicist, a photographic study of arc spectra, and educator, dies at 58. In 1933, John Galsworthy, English author for Sight Saga, 1932 Nobel Prize for Literature, dies at 65. In 1940, Ren Skickel, German-French writer, sometimes under nom de plume Sacha Erb am Rhein, poet, and magazine editor Weissen Biel-Tieter, dies at 56. In 1942, Henry Larkin, American baseball utility hit for the cycle 1884 Philadelphia RS, and manager Cleveland Infants 1890, dies at 82. In 1942, Rolf Wenghaus, German actor spoiling the game, SA Man Brand, dies when his plane is shot down during WW2-24. In 1944, Jean Giraudoux, French writer and playwright, The Madwoman of Chillot, dies at 61. In 1945, Eddie Slovic, first American executed for desertion since Civil War, at 25. In 1949, Henry de Vries Hendrikus van Walterop, Dutch actor Cleopatra, White Cargo, dies at 84. In 1952, George Hyles Broadhurst, British-American playwright, director and producer responsible for opening Broadway's Broadhurst Theatre, dies at 85. In 1954, Edwin H. Armstrong, U.S. radio inventor FM, commits suicide at 63. In 1954, Florence Bates, American actress Kismet, I Remember Mama, dies at 65. In 1955, John Mott, American theologist and founder Imker, Nobel 1946, dies at 89. English author of the Winnie the Pooh books, dies at 74. In 1960, Lowell Gilmore, American actor, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Living Christ series, dies at 53. In 1966, Arthur Percival, British Army officer in World War I and Roman II, dies at 78. In 1966, Elizabeth Patterson, American stage, silent, and sound screen character actress, The Boyfriend, Intruder in the Dust, I Love Lucy, Mrs. Trumbull, dies of pneumonia at 91. In 1967, Eddie Tolan, American sprinter, The Midnight Express 1932 Olympics, dies at 58. In 1967, Otto Dibelius, German theologian and bishop, Confessional Church, dies at 86. In 1969, Alexander Mikhailovich Dzhedlionak, Russian composer, dies at 77. In 1969, Meher Barber, Indian spiritual leader and self-proclaimed avatar, God in human form, dies at 74. In 1970, Mikhail Mill, Russian aviation designer at the Mill Moscow helicopter plant, dies at 60. In 1970, Slim Harpo James Moore, American blues musician I Emma King B, Baby Scratch My Back, dies of a heart attack at 46. In 1971, Viktor Maximovich Shermansky, Russian literary historian and linguist, dies at 79. In 1970, Tubar Bikramshar Deva Mahendra, King of Nepal 1955-72, dies at 51. In 1970, Frithiof Nilsson Puritan, Swedish